What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got Jalen Carter's amazing journey through adversity. Let's check this
Jalen
out.
Carter's road to NFL stardom didn't begin with a draft party. It began with a mugshot. Just weeks before the biggest moment of his life, Carter turned himself into the police. His dreams of a football career suddenly uncertain. His reputation seemingly irreparable. Fast forward 2 years and those dreams aren't just back on track, they've been fully realized. The freaky defensive tackle has been a force to be reckoned with on the gridiron, playing a pivotal role in helping Philly capture their second Lombardi trophy. But the journey to get here was far from straightforward. This is Jalen Carter's amazing journey from controversy to championship glory. Jalen Carter was born in Apopka, Florida.
God damn. Yo, that nigga had the sky top of doom. Holy shit. I'm glad he cut that. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my god.
2001. And raised primarily by his mother.
Yeah, I'm glad he got locked now.
It was a social upbringing for young Jalen, who found himself regularly
like 20
hanging
aura
out
points,
at
bro,
his mother's daycare
locked.
center. His role as one of the biggest kids there was to tire them out and prepare them for nap time. What he didn't realize then was that his size would soon become a major asset for another reason, serving him well on the football field at Apopka High School. This was an ideal school for Carter to attend, known for its football acumen, having churned out defensive stars such as Warren Sapp and Trey Hendrickson. And while Jalen's size made him an obvious candidate for trench play, it didn't mean he wasn't a freaky athlete as well. You don't get many lads his size showing off windmill dunks on the basketball court, or securing acrobatic Odell Beckham-like catches in the end zone. No, this guy was different.
Was that him?
And he remained a standout throughout his entire career. Jalen's first taste of football action came as a lead blocker in a single wing offense
for
Apopka High School. And, to quote the team strength coach, he was just crushing people. He eventually moved to the interior of the defensive line as a senior, where he was just as effective, to the extent that his coaches had to ask him to ease off in practice to give the offense a chance. Having saved so much energy in practice, Carter was fully unleashed when it came to game time, racking up 64 tackles, 12 sacks, and a touchdown in that senior season. This was enough to make him a 5-star recruit and the 18th overall player in his class, essentially meaning he could play his college ball wherever he wanted to. Ultimately, he opted to join Georgia. And why not? Their Bulldogs were known for having the best defense in the nation. After playing in a rotational role as a freshman, Carter eventually got his chance to properly show what he could do in 2021. At which point, it was clear the Bulldogs had another defensive star. His quality combination of speed defensive star. His quality combination of speed and power was clear for everyone to see, quickly making himself a key cog in a formidable Georgia defense.
Oh my god!
And a
was this the game he picked up, JD?
Georgia
defense
that conceded just 10.4 points per game. Unsurprisingly, that was best in the nation, coming in a whopping 5.4 points per game, less than Clemson in second, at 15.8 points per game. It didn't matter who was going up against him. Jalen always had an answer. He could use his power to charge through an offensive lineman, or his quick feet to scoot around them. The one constant was Jalen Carter disrupting a play. He finished the year with 37 tackles and 3 sacks, earning him a spot on the second team All SEC roster for his efforts. More importantly, he helped power the Bulldogs to national championship glory. Then, ranking as a top 5 defense yet again in 2022, the Bulldogs stormed straight back to the national championship game, this time downing TCU by a whopping 65.
How the fuck did TCU even get to the damn championship, bro? They beat Michigan. That was it, right? Cause I think this was back when like it was a 14 playoff game, bruh. What the fuck? They had no business being there, bro. Bro, this shit is crazy. 65-7. Meanwhile, you had Georgia players eating wings on the sideline.
Points
like, bro,
to 7.
they did
to
not
earn
belong
back
in that bitch
to
whatsoever.
back titles. In
That is
addition
crazy.
to the team's success, Carter was named a unanimous All-American for his 32 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles,
Stacks
and
aren't
even
everything,
3
bro.
pass breakups. While those numbers
No, this
might not
picture's
stand
crazy.
out as particularly eye-popping, there are a couple things to remember. First of all, defensive tackles are not exactly known for racking up huge numbers.
Ain't he like what,
second
a
of
3
all,
tech?
Carter was operating in a defense where Kirby Smart liked to rotate his linemen. For context, Carter played just 392 snaps in the 2022 season. In comparison, Jerzon Newton, who would go in the first round 1 year later, played 723
God damn.
snaps. That's almost double. The reality was that Jalen Carter was the ultimate bully at the heart of one of the greatest defenses in college football history. He had consistent success.
I'm surprised
Going
Philly
through
hasn't worked him in
or
on like a
around his
offensive
opponents
snap in the red zone or some
was a
shit.
lethal pass rusher
Like a trick play.
and could absolutely shut down the run.
Imagine
That's
this nigga on
everything
the
you could
tush
possibly
push.
ask for from a defensive tackle, and he did it with the vicious tenacity that all NFL teams want to see. Add in the national championship success and experience, and Jalen Carter was a lock for going very highly in the 2023 draft.
And they let him fall to
At
Philly.
least that was the case until reports began to circle that Carter had handed himself into the police on March 1st, 2023, just weeks before draft night. As it turned out, Jalen Carter had been charged with reckless driving and street racing, associated with a tragic incident that had seen his teammate Devin Willock
RP to his teammate,
and
man.
Georgia staff member
And her.
Chandler LaCroix both lose their lives. These were celebrations gone disastrously wrong, and Carter was lucky to walk away with his life, let alone his career, still intact. Thankfully for Jalen, his car stayed upright, whereas the car driven by LaCroix did not, tragically killing her and Willock. Carter eventually pleaded no contest and was given 12 months probation along with a $1,000 fine and an order to complete
that's pocket change
80
for
hours of
college
community
football players
service
nowadays
and
with
a
NIL
driving
and
course.
shit.
Lucky to be alive, Carter was allowed to continue with the draft process. But the incident had no doubt affected his mental state and his draft stock. He turned up to his pro day
See what happened with
9
Mike Green.
pounds heavier than at the combine and couldn't even finish his position drills. Now, instead of lauding his talents, draft analysts and scouts were highlighting his character as a giant red flag. Todd McShay went on ESPN and said, "It's not about his talent,
And bro,
it's about his size."
I like how you can make one mistake and all of a sudden everything is about your character. We ain't hear nothing about this nigga until that whole incident. And then all of a sudden, well, his character should be an issue. The fuck out of my face with that bullshit.
Or his explosive
Like,
takeoff.
bro, the media be
finishing
trying to
as a
twist
pass rusher.
everything, bro.
It's about
Crazy.
the character. do we want to bring that
He
guy
made
into the
one
building?
silly mistake.
This was a low point
You know what I'm
for a
saying?
player who everyone knew
It was an RP to
would be
his teammate
special.
and that girl.
So his former high
Like he
school
made
coach,
one
Hunter Wood,
crazy, you know what I'm saying,
challenged
mistake
him
that could have been
to
prevented.
reset,
And all of a
forget
sudden, it's
about
about his
everything
character.
that had happened, and simply focus on what his goals were for the future. When reflecting on this, Wood told ESPN, somehow or another, he developed a chip on his shoulder about things he wanted to get done this year. No matter how much Carter had managed to reset his mindset, the NFL were wary of what they had seen, leading him to fall outside of the top 5 of the 2023
I definitely thought he was going to the
NFL
Raiders.
draft. Eventually, he heard his name called as the 9th overall pick. He would be heading to Philadelphia.
You know how Rose won't gonna let that slide.
Him. This couldn't have been a better spot.
Once you got a G on your helmet, bro,
not only
and
would
you
he be
you know what I'm
joining a
saying,
team
you ball
that
out,
just
you going to
played
Philly,
in a Super Bowl, but he would be lining up alongside Jordan Davis, N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, and Kile Ringo. All
like, how the fuck these
Georgia
niggas be
Bulldogs.
doing this shit?
As part
like nobody's getting the method, bro. You gotta drive Georgia defensive linemen to be great nowadays. Like, bro, nobody's getting the memo. These motherfuckers got a plethora of these niggas on the Eagle squad, bro, especially the defense. And then on the offensive side, it's pure Alabama. Like, bro, they just got an SEC team, bro.
Recreated Bulldogs defense, Carter continued to be a menace. He notched a sack in his debut against New England before finding the quarterback twice against the Rams a month later. His production tailed off a bit in the second half of the season as the Eagles themselves collapsed in dramatic fashion. But he still found himself second in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting, thanks to his impressive 6-sack effort. The Eagles had already been vindicated for their decision to make him their draft choice at 9th overall. But things were taken to the next level in 2024. Defensive mastermind Vic Fangio arrived to salvage the defensive mess that had been inflicted on the team in 2023, and proving them from the 30th ranked scoring defense, conceding 25.6 points per game, to the second best, conceding just 17.8 points per game in 2024. Carter was a force in the trenches, already demanding double teams, yet still finding ways to disrupt the game. With the defense now all singing from the same song sheet,
when is he eligible to get a new contract?
14-3
It's like after this year?
With Carter posting 42 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and 6 passes defense. For his efforts, he was named a second-team All-Pro, but the bigger prize came in the postseason. Carter and company propelled Philadelphia
what's
all
crazy,
the way
bro,
through the playoffs.
He hasn't even really reached his full potential yet, bro. That's the scary part. He even with him being double teamed and shit, he still find a way to split them and get into the backfield. That nigga, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This might be a wild take. He might be the next Aaron Donald, bro. I'm just saying we know how good Aaron Donald is, bro. That nigga's still in good shape to this day. But I don't know, bro.
Playoffs.
With
Carter in particular, thriving with 2 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, and a forced fumble in a tight defensive round clash against the Rams. Then, in Super Bowl 59, against the three-peat hunting Kansas City Chiefs, the underdog Eagles embarrassed their opponents, storming to a 40-22 victory. Jalen Carter had reached the pinnacle of the sport. Just 2 years earlier, he was overcoming the mental anguish of his arrest and struggling to complete his pro day. Now, he stands tall as already one of the most feared defensive players in the NFL, boasting a Super Bowl ring that can sit nicely alongside his 2 national
That
championship
is
successes.
crazy, bro.
His story is one of resilience and sheer brutal quality, proving that no matter what life throws at you, there is still an opportunity to become legendary. But how good do you think Carter will be at the end of his career? Let us know in the comment.
Hey, man, he could have double-digit sacks this year, bro. Same for Nolan Smith. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos I'm to react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they show me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broken. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.